welcome to another My Little Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my brother Bryson.
Hello.
My father Gary.
Hello.
And my mother Shelly. Today, we are going to be chit-chatting, of course, about all of the fun videos that we've been posting. And I wanted to start off, before we get into anything, with a comment that was by Renola Dominguez last week. She said, I really like the new setup. Looks like the set of a modern talk show. Can we get a full tour, please? I want to get a closer look at the artwork. And absolutely, I will have those. If you're watching on our YouTube, to see some more close-up shots of the set. We've got all kinds of stuff that we're planning on adding, and I don't know.
It's a little bit different, though, from last week, because we had our Thanksgiving setup, and now we're starting the Christmas setup. So this is part one, and hopefully we can add some more
we've got
decorations to it.
We've got some stuff we want to do on the table, I know, and I really want to do a custom neon sign for the back here, but we'll see about maybe getting a commission on that. So really just fun stuff I'm looking for. Oh, and painting the wall. I want to paint the wall too, so lots of stuff. Like no, I like purple, but I want to do, we've got, for our thumbnails, we have kind of this blueprint theme that we've gone with, and I want to do that on the back wall.
Okay.
Give that a try.
Okay, cool.
So, anyway, so there...
we should do? Every thumbnail we make, we pin to the back of the wall. We actually print out, and we pin it to the wall. So it has all the thumbnails of all the videos we did.
Wow.
That would look really cool as a collage. Even, like those pictures where they have a bunch of one person or whatever, and they make their person out of the person, and they,
yes.
move around. You could do that. I don't know what it would say.
Like 200 plus videos. We might be able to put something.
Oh my gosh, that would take a lot of work.
200 plus thumbnails. 200 plus.
All right, so Palato Claus said, who edited this episode? And I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to start with.
That is a loaded question.
It is. Now, specifically, this was on, of course, the weekly peek that we posted.
Right.
Okay.
So just the generic.
Bree, just lay out how
okay,
we
so
would do
this
that.
might sound a tad elaborate, but this is what we've had to do to share the workload and also stay fresh and hopefully produce the best product. It starts
maybe
off,
between the two of us, we can remember all the steps.
yeah, because I believe we'll be going back, so prepare yourself for a timeline shift constantly. But it starts off with Mom dropping in the footage, and she'll take the raw footage, she'll dump it and drop it.
And that's just pulling out what sort of the narration of words that we spoke during the project, and then we'll drop that on the main timeline, and the secondary timeline will have all of the just visuals that
So the A would be more the storyline, and then the B is the B-roll, A-roll.
Yeah, so you say A-roll and B-roll.
A-roll, B-roll.
But it's a rough storyline, right?
Very rough.
Very
rough. And she'll get it around the area, and then it goes to me, and I go through all of the audio.
We do have one more step in there.
Oh, we do.
We actually then we'll do some interviews to fill in blanks that we just can guess that we might be missing that information, or there might be additional information that we want to add. Mm-hmm. So we'll do little interview things. Then it goes to me, and I go through and tighten everything up. Sometimes when Mom's dropping, she'll leave a little off one word or whatever because it's just a rough fill-in. So I'll go in, I'll refine it, I'll remove stuff. If something doesn't quite make sense, I'll readjust it. Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes especially when we're interviewing, it can get a little jumbled. So sometimes I'll move it out of sync or whatever so that it makes sense. And we ramble on. So we have to cut out the rambles.
So the idea is not to waste anybody's time, right? So we go through and do that. And then
the more we can cut it down but keep the same story, the better.
Yeah.
As streamlined as we can. And then it goes to Bryson.
Which is, I do the interweaving. So usually when we film, we have two cameras, A and B roll. And then, the B roll is just, actual shots and stuff.
We
and then
explained that. We did already. Yeah.
Okay,
No, yeah.
And then I just take all of that and basically plop them over each other and put all the B roll in the right spots and smash it a little bit.
You'll take the interviews and you'll integrate them into the storyline because those are just kind of sitting on their own.
Yeah,
that's true. I do that too. I'll take all the interviews.
That's one of the hardest steps.
It is a hard step for sure.
Yeah.
And then it goes usually to Shay after that point.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And Shay tightens it.
Shay'll tighten it more because you when you're doing it, it's like it's a piece of art, so you just need to step away. So what we have found, if we had to step away each time, we'd never get it done. So it goes to another person,
Yeah.
So
some of those real tight edits might be at 30 frames a second, might be just a few frames, just to get that tight. So I've seen you do that.
Little
a frame
ones.
or two, and I go, whoa.
It just, or like sometimes little black, whenever you're cutting and deleting things, sometimes little tiny clips, like one framers, can just appear in the whole
it's
thing.
a blank.
And you won't even see it until the
flips.
final. Sometimes it goes all the way through to the final video, and we're watching it, and we're like, oh my gosh, it just flickered.
I'll be honest,
It's just
Mom
one
is so
little
good at
blip.
this.
She's good.
When
She is really good at it,
she'll see
yeah.
a flicker, and I thought I just blinked. You know, she's like, "Oh, stop!" You know, she gets
She'll like stop it, and you zoom in, and you have to zoom in really close. And here, sure enough, there's a
little black screen. She's amazing. She's able to find them. And then it
She's
goes
crazy.
from Shay then to Mom, and then that's more more refined after that.
More
point.
refined. And then we usually, by that time, the day's done.
Yeah.
And so I usually wake up in the morning, the next morning, and then I do all the coloring and look through it again, see if, at that point, it goes to you for music. You put the music in.
Yeah, okay, but we actually, before we get to the music, I think we want to say, Garen and Ellie now do it differently, because
right.
they film and edit all their own
They
stuff.
do
So when
their
it gets
whole
to us, it's a completed segment, story thought, you know.
Yeah, and Shay takes that, and then she breaks it into a few sections. Mm-hmm. So that's true, too. And then at that point, when I go through it the last time, and then we have all the segments, then it goes to Bryson.
Yep. And Bryson then takes those. Oh, yeah.
So now I take all the little segments and I weave them together. Usually it takes me and Mom. Usually we sit there for a little bit deciding where everything should go, and then I usually go in and do
order.
it. And we use these clever little sticky notes, and we have a bunch of them, and we write all the sections on it so we can stick the sticky notes around and get everything laid out the way we want. And then I'll take that plan and I'll weave it all together.
Yep, and that goes the intro and the outro, and
Everything.
we get that recorded as well. And Bryson does all of that work and putting the jokes in at
and
the
then,
end, or the
and the
outtakes.
end screen and stuff. And that usually we wait to record that till last minute.
It's usually last minute,
Because
'cause
then
we
it
have
goes
stuff
after we interview. We're usually getting
yeah.
pretty late at night, and then it goes to you.
Yeah, and then I go through and I find music, and when Bryson brings it to me, usually there's a black segment, and then it's just basically placed
Blocked.
there. It's blocked
Yeah,
in.
it's just
And so then
blocked
I take it, I find music, I go source music, I place the music there, and then I adjust the transitions. So, you know, if the song is going to change, you know, and it's that kind of thing where you weave it all together with music. And then after that, it's a rough, I mean, it's put together really after that point, and then
That
everything
point is
else that we do is more.
And then it goes on to Mom.
And
to
usually
do
the
some
next
final-
morning,
Yeah.
I wake up and then I do the coloring. And as I'm doing the coloring, I'm looking through it, making some more refinements.
Make sure everything's good.
And then it goes to Gary.
Yep.
Yes.
Then it goes to Dad.
And I get to watch it.
Well, yeah, but you do all of the audio, so you pull out all the voices we
all the
can't
audio.
hear.
Yeah, I do all the audio.
If it peaks or whatever.
And it's really a different show when Gary gets done with
Yeah.
it, because
Yeah, it is.
some stuff we didn't hear. So then I usually look through it one more time. I might add some more sound effects, and I might change it a little bit because now I hear it differently.
Well, a lot of times that you're listening to it, she's got the music up to 6 dB, which is typical, right? And then we drop it down to 20 dB or so, negative 20 dB or so. So we have all these different adjustments we do, and then I come in and I raise all the audio speaking parts. I
Yeah.
raise that all up to where it should be at proper levels. That means all the lower music either has to be adjusted. So it's quite a deal. It takes me about over an hour to do a show. 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. And you've gotten fast, because I mean, sometimes you're in there for like 2 hours because we had some mic issue and Dad's
If we use
trying
like
to save
4
it.
or 5 different mics, then I've got quite a deal to try to blend them as much together as I can. Some,
Yeah, it is good.
you know, and then wind noises and things. There's things like you go, I can do
It
about
is.
that.
It is
some point.
amazing what Dad can pull out. Oftentimes you just think it's not. You're like, oh, that's not really going to ever be heard. But Dad can pull it out. It's
Lo and
amazing.
behold,
And
it
just
appears.
The one thing I forget is to remember that there are sound effects. So Shelly must make sure that her sound effects are heard, because I forget about, oh yeah, that's right, there's that.
I
and
turn
there's-
them way up.
Yeah.
And you don't
I
want
get 'em
sound
now.
effects to be that high, but just so he recognizes.
You don't want to boing in the middle of something. You want it to be
Sound effect here, hello.
small. Yeah, just little.
Yeah, they're just little.
Oh, and
Because
there
we got to
is-
be able to hear him to edit them right.
And there is other stuff like tracking and blurring stuff out.
Oh yeah, that's the last step.
That can-
Yeah.
If we
Usually we don't know
Like
what
if I
scenes there will
flash
be
my
in.
credit cards around, which I do sometimes, Bryson has to, he has
Blur
to
'em out.
blur
You gotta
that
go.
out.
License plates or any or
Before we
addresses.
sat down here, there was a lecture on what to show and what not to show.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure your
Because it
phone
can,
isn't open.
you know,
Yeah.
I have
We had the drill.
software-
We run everybody
We have
through.
software that can track that stuff, but it doesn't always work. If it's really complex, a lot of stuff in the scene, that thing doesn't work. I have to go in frame by frame and change it. That can take me an hour just to do a 5-second clip if I have to do it frame by frame. Yeah. So it's
not fun.
And then after all is said and done, we view it one last time because we love it at that point, aren't we? We're not sick of it at all. We watch it again.
And we put the tag, we call it tagline.
Which is our MyLittleHomestead.com watermark on there. And then we let everything render and then hope to goodness everything runs smoothly so we can get it uploaded on time because believe me, at this point, we're cutting it close.
Yeah.
On occasion, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We create animations. So there might be one-offs where occasionally one of us is, or you are doing some kind of animation, which is graphics and other things that have to be put
that are involved in the video.
Yeah, including texting, text and stuff that are in there. So.
Yeah, because we do now the intro. Oh, well, we don't have an intro now, but we do the outro Friday, and then we might have a sale, a T-shirt sale or something. And then
our intro is that little swirly thing.
Yeah. That's in there, but we don't have to record it anymore. We did that this week.
Nice.
We don't do that anymore.
Right. That's the point.
Yeah.
So aren't you glad you asked?
That's just done over 4 days. So.
Yeah, we do that over 4 days. We just play badminton back and forth.
We should say too, the way we upload is actually through the phone. We actually drag the whole rendered project onto the Files app on the iPhone, and then we upload it through the iPhone app, through the YouTube iPhone app, because we found it's more reliable than our current internet that we have here.
We have Homestead internet, which only works maybe 10% of the time.
So if you remember the old days when you were dialed in to see it at 6 p.m. and you go, oh, I wonder what's going on. They haven't gotten it up yet.
It's hours and hours
usually.
Later.
And we will confess, we got done with the video last Friday, and Gary and I went in with our popcorn, watching our shows and just relaxing for the week. And all of a sudden we get a text from Bree. Did you release the video? And we're like, what? we just totally forgot.
Yeah, it was 6:30. And I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going up. So like I usually like wait 20 minutes after it's been released, and then I'll go through and do the first round of comments because I like to stay up on them and it doesn't get to be too much. And so but I was waiting for that, and then I get this ping on Discord by Judy Lynn. She's one of our favorites. She's like, is something up with the video? It's not out yet. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went over and released it. So honestly, if it hadn't been for Judy Lynn, their video would have been probably like super late. And it was up on time. Like it was ready to go.
It was not even on our radar. It was, we just all of a sudden, I don't know why, we just thought we were done for the night. We were done. Yeah. We would have went to bed and everything. We would not have even.
I wouldn't even know. Get up in the morning, still not released.
Whoops.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so that happened.
And that's the answer to your question of who edited that.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I'm sure Azalea was in there pointing and clicking too.
Even Garen and Ellie.
Yep, they do their part too.
Shay, everybody's in.
Everyone is involved in the process. It's a big show to put together for 20 minutes. It's a lot.
I know it seems like for people just viewing it, going, it's just a 20-minute show. Doesn't it take 20 minutes?
Yeah. I wish it did, but it's fun though. I like having all the elements and stuff to do. I like that we're able to produce this type of show. We're able to do it because we're a team. Because Mom, for the longest time, it was just her doing all that work, if you can believe it. And for a while, it was just 10 minutes. And that was a lot. And then we started moving it to 20. And Mom's like, burnout is on the way.
When I got it to 20, I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yeah. So
I got to have help.
So we had it was like an SOS. We all
but on that point, I had we had all these places all these things that we did that we just said, and then we were able to start filling them in with other people, and that really it makes it more fun too. I think it's a better show because of it.
It's a lot of fun to do.
Also too, like, this isn't all just on one computer. We all edit it from our own computer
from the NAS.
And
that allowed us
the ability to use a NAS server, and we can all access it. And so we can all edit it from different places. And that's really been a key element into making something like this work the way it is, I think, anyway.
Right. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're ready for a feature-length acting movie. Musical.
One day. Anyway. Okay. So we made some puns in this episode. And there was
we did?
We made one.
Oh.
It wasn't a very good one, maybe, but it was fun. Because puns are always fun, even if they're like this. Anyway.
Even if they're punny.
Simon Scott said, "Don't pull a muscle with that stretch of a motivator pun there, Bree."
Oh, yeah, the mortar.
Motivator.
The motor.
I sat there going, how can I make this into a pun? And it was a stretch.
It was good. I remember
Let's
now.
be real. SRQ Lisa had a great suggestion when it comes to picking colors, and I thought I would share it because it's fabulous. Because we colored several colored bottles this time around.
Right.
And she said, I use a Crayola coloring box to pick out some of the pink colors, and it works out just fine. So I think what she's saying is you can just color on.
She might just look in the box if they're all
She
in a
might
row.
even just look in the box.
Right.
But I
that
thought
is a good
that would be
idea.
cheap.
You could even pull the crayons out, match them up together.
Good. It's just a really
smart.
great
If
idea.
we were
one.
real
That's
fancy,
good.
we could use Cooler, do matching that one. Then we could do complementary colors, warm, dark,
We could
light.
really go crazy.
And then we could pick it by Kelvin. This is a 15,000. Or we could do RGB. Or we could do, what's the other one? CMYK.
Yeah.
We
Well, you
could-
got RGB and CMYK. I don't think you have another
And
type.
Cooler. No, there's another
You
type there.
We have one more? Something?
Yeah.
I'm sure there
Not that it's on my radar. I only do.
Usually I just
Well, you
deal
get the
with
CMYK for
RGB.
print. Let's not go there. Anyway, Willa Looky here says, please keep a bottle count. I'm curious about how many you'll be using. And I think we actually already have a bottle count. We already know. don't we?
Yeah, it's 225 a row. So for the whole thing, what's that? 246.75, 675, and then you can add about 6 more to that because I rounded. So so 682 is for just the wave. And I think what we're going to do on the other side when we do the waterfall is I'm going to not use kombucha bottles because
We can't drink enough.
we are actually 117 shy.
Yeah.
And I think I counted, we have just through the last few days, we have about 17 more. So we're going to need to, we'll probably,
The notch on drinking those.
I think what we're going to have to do is just start doing some of the bagging again on that other side. Because while we're waiting to accumulate more bottles. The UPS lady did say that she was going to ask her guys, because they all drink that,
Her
and she
coworkers,
might
yeah.
be bringing us a box of them. But
That's helpful.
We'll see.
We'll see if that.
She's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that lady.
Oh,
She's my
yeah.
favorite.
Oh,
When she
UPS
comes,
lady's
she's
cool.
like, ah!
Yeah.
I'm like, you're my favorite. She's like, you're my favorite. I love
When
that
she
lady.
comes out to our house, it's like a safari.
awesome.
It is. It's and she's like,
so much dirt road, and animals, and all kinds
well,
of things.
and if you think about it, UPS people are already kind of dressed for a safari to begin with. They got the
True.
khakis
Good
going on.
point.
So,
Yeah.
like, she looks like
just
she's
we
ready
fit
to
in.
go.
We fit into their world.
We do. We're on theme.
I love it.
Do you have one on there on kombucha?
Well, we have been asked repeatedly if we make our own kombucha. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I don't have one of those.
Well, there was somebody out there,
Just
maybe
mini.
several.
Yeah.
That says, "Do you make your own kombucha?" And the answer is no.
We did.
We did.
Yeah, we did it one time.
Once.
Well, Shay made some once.
But
let me go on about this.
okay.
The reason why we don't make our own because we need more bottles.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think too we do so much. Our week is so full. We've just kind of slimmed down on the projects that we
Yeah, we do.
just taking on less projects so that we can focus more on the
You have
ones,
to-
bigger ones. But it is something that we'll probably experiment with
You
more.
have to
Let's be
pick
real.
which
Yeah, we
projects
probably-
you want to work on and throw out the rest.
Well, and you can see how wonderful those bottles are. I mean, you saw them fall, and we've dropped them. I mean, they do not break. They're
They're
awesome.
incredible building
I
materials.
had a thought though. The bigger ones you can get.
Yeah, I have some of those.
What if we took those that we have, we buy a bunch of smaller ones, we dump them into the bigger ones, and we cap the bigger ones real fast, and then we can save all the kombucha from all of those and get a ton of bottles at it.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Except I'm not so sure we could get such a good. You know what I mean? When
I don't
once
know
you
if it
open them,
would
they're just
seal.
never the same. And Dad can
It'd be
vouch for
pretty
that.
flat probably by the end of the time.
I like
That's
your
so funny.
thinking,
But
though.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Shelly
Actually,
says, "Yeah, there's a half of one in the fridge," and I go, "Oh, okay. So when did you open it? Oh, about 4 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and the longer they sit, the more fermented they get, and it starts to taste like, is this beer? Like, are we good? Is everything all right? Okay, so Sharon Young said, I haven't seen the goats lately. How are they doing? And they're doing good.
Doing great.
They're goating out
They're
there.
so goaty.
Yeah, they'll be having
Go to Ridley.
babies the beginning of the year. So in 2021, the beginning of the year, we'll be filming it. We always film the babies.
They're cute.
Will also be having.
Yeah, Garrett and Ellie. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I milked, every day. And Boots, which is the big brown one out there.
The weather,
yeah. He likes to crowd me out when I'm getting the goats in and out because he'll jump over that fence and onto the stanchion to clear out the thing. So he waits patiently. He's smart. He knows not to do it while I'm in there. But what I've been doing is he crowds and the girls can't get out of the gate because he's standing there all excited. He's not threatening or anything. He's just waiting to get in. And so I've been spritzing him a little bit. And so I did that a couple days in a row, just spritzing him, and and because I need him out of the way, and so now I don't have the spray anymore, but he'll just like flinch every time, and he'll back off, and I'm like, I really have nothing, but I'm so glad you're not crowding me out. I do. I'm not kidding. I'll just show the bottle, and I just show him, and he flinches. He's like.
That's funny.
He's a smart goat. Yeah, I like him.
Goats are smart.
Normally we have on some of the ones that we like milk and stuff, we keep collars on them so we can lead them around. But the ones we don't milk, we tend not to keep collars because we've had experiences with collars that are not so good.
Well, we have the snap-off ones.
Yeah.
The
we
thing
do have
is,
the snap-off ones that help with that.
Do you know though? There has been no collars on those goats for the past few months.
Really?
They don't know that though. And what I do is I just put my hand there, and they think that there's a collar there.
Oh, that's great.
So I guide them in and out that way. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're going. We know there's a collar." No, there's not.
Collars never last on goats because they have
break off.
They figure out how to get out of them.
Monkeys.
Eventually, they wind up broken on somewhere in the dirt.
That's why we always get the snap-on ones.
Yeah, well, we got to do the breakaway ones.
Yeah,
that's just for safety
reasons. Yeah.
If you're gonna have goats with horns, then it's probably
Okay, Bo Booker says, okay, for seriousness, I cannot be the only one who wants to see how Mom and Dad's bathroom turned out.
Gary, actually, you probably haven't seen him in the videos much, and you might be thinking, what is he doing? Just sitting there drinking a beer?
Drinking a kombucha? Trying to get through these?
But he actually has been working very hard on the bathroom. He has tiled it. He's put in a toilet. He has plans to put in a sink with a concrete countertop. So we're
concrete sink, dude.
Concrete sink.
All one piece.
Yeah, so we're excited, and we're planning on playing that actually probably on the Christmas Day video. Yeah. We'll have that edited. We don't know if it'll be completed. Probably not, because you got quite a bit left to do. But we'll do a chunk of that on Christmas Day. Yeah, so that's coming.
It's super cool in there, like really neat.
Yeah, we're planning shows all the way through the end of the year. We don't want to miss one, so we're working doubly hard, which is like a little difficult, but
and the
doable.
idea is hopefully when I get done with the bathroom, we get to start on the shop. So
yes, that's the idea.
The idea.
Yeah,
unless another project comes.
I know you keep deciding to do something in between, or something that's just a need that comes up.
Important you have to do. So.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to remember all the stuff we want to hit. I know.
I know that there was some ideas too that you gave on taking the bottles off, and I wanted to just note
the labels.
What did I say? Labels. So I wanted to just kind of note too some of the other things that worked really well. There was a comment, and I'm so sorry I didn't snapshot it, so I'm not sure who said it, but somebody wanted to know what caused it to not come off very well, and that was actually acetone we used. And acetone, if you scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, it would come off, but pretty much it was not like the mineral spirits where you could just spin it in there and it would just come right off. That was beautiful. And then there's also the other ones that we have seen that work that was suggested was WD-40. Does the same thing as that paint thinner and doesn't smell as bad. So that's kind of nice when we're doing onesie-twosies. And then, Bryson, you have another way.
So we had the suggestion for the heat gun, which works.
We had mini.
That definitely worked. I saw that.
Yeah. And that works good if you're going to do like a chunk of them. Like if I was going to sit down and do a chunk, I would use that.
Like we did.
Yeah, like what we did. But we actually found out another way of doing it, which works really nice. And it's just on the fly. We just boil some water. We just pour it in the jar, and it does the same thing as the heat gun.
Yeah.
And it keeps it dry, too, because you pour it inside the jar, and it warms up the jar, and then you can just...
The glue,
Yeah, you put the lid back on, though, because it's really hot, but then you can peel it off just like that. And then in the house now, when we drink one or two, and we're just kind of delabeling them as we go, and then that's when I use the WD-40, and that comes off just like the other one, too. So it works
really
good.
nice. We've been now doing it as we come up with new bottles, we've been delabeling them as we go because we don't really want to sit down and do another whole batch of those again.
No, I might as well just keep up on them. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not hard with the boiling water method.
Yeah, so the ideas that you provided have been just wonderful and really helped us on the last video to be able to delabel 200 plus bottles in a quick amount
It was
of time.
like 6 hours. You guys got it all done. It was amazing.
I don't know how long, but
More?
not too long. It would have been way more
It'd have been
to
way
do
more.
it the other way. So
But I love the boiling water method the best of all of them.
Yeah, it's
and
more
that's,
relaxed.
you have this idea too without you don't get the fumes you were saying.
Yeah, you don't get
you
the
do
fumes,
get some fumes
you don't
that
burn the
It's a
paper.
well
Sometimes when
ventilated
you're-
areas.
Sometimes when you're
recommended.
doing the heat gun, you can burn the paper, and then it gets sometimes it can rip, and then it can be even harder to get off. And it still works, but it still can get a little challenging. But with the hot water, it's never fails on you. It always works every time. So it's more reliable and a little nicer too.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. So thank you so much for coming up with those. That was awesome. Now we had, we want to let you know too, just again, if you missed it, our we're going to do a Christmas live stream this Friday instead of the weekly peak, and we're going to be decorating. We're going to be drinking some hot cocoa. We're going to be playing some live music. I'm planning 1 or 2 original songs and for the end, but I'm sure we'll do like maybe 1 or 2 traditional ones too, and just to end it up, just kind of a festival thing. Take you along with us and celebrate a little Christmas. Get into the mood.
What
Yeah.
time on
Set the
Friday?
stage.
What time? On
What Friday? Let's see. It'll be 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is just typically when the video goes out.
Right.
If we don't go and eat popcorn and relax.
and then
No, I'm just
on Wednesday now we have some unique stockings that we're going to be doing. That'll be the Wednesday video.
That's right.
We found some that just kind of had this really cute little
Elf
curly toe.
toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shay's
That's gonna be great.
coming over actually as we speak. She's coming over today and going to help us figure out how to do that.
I'm so excited. Mom found these and she's like, Bree, oh my goodness, we got to do this. Look at this shape. It's just so fun. So
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
looking forward to making those.
And just this morning, all of the letters finished on the printer today.
Ooh,
Yeah, so we're going to do our names on. Did you say we're
Bryson
gonna-
printed them all off in script, and they're so cute.
excited
They turned
about
out
that.
really well. We were looking for letters out there to see if anybody had done them and if we could use some. But yeah, they didn't have them with the hooks. We needed the hooks on so we can hang the letters down.
They had the letters, but they didn't have a nice little loop on top for stringing them. So
All right. Well, thank you so much for all of the bottle suggestions. Again, that was awesome.
great,
and all of the wonderful comments and suggestions and encouraging stuff that you send in. It's so fun to read. And it always betters the product in the end. I know we say that all the time, but we do really mean it. So we really hope that you have a fabulous start to your week. We can't wait to hang out with you or show you those what we create on Wednesday and hang out with you on Friday. So thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.
bye.